Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Thursday, October the 23rd. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local share market is set to open lower this morning with ASX futures off almost 0.1%. Global stocks ended mostly lower overnight and gold extended its losses. Wall Street's major indices fell, prompted by a sell-off in tech shares amid mixed earnings results, while investor sentiment soured on reports that the Trump administration is considering curbs on exports of US software to China. Tesla has reported record third quarter revenue of $28.1 billion, driven by the highest quarterly sales of its EVs. It's achieved a gross margin of 18%. Shares fell around 1% in extended trade. Netflix shares fell heavily a day after the streaming company missed quarterly profit expectations, raising concerns about stretched valuation. IBM beat Wall Street estimates for third quarter revenue and profit on booming demand for its software as the rush to deploy AI models boosts sales for the underlying technology supporting them. Texas Instruments posted lower than expected revenue and profit forecasts, dragging the chipmaker shares down. Intuitive Surgical jumped following the company's third quarter earnings beat. AT&T fell even as it added more wireless subscribers than expected for the third quarter. Hilton Worldwide cut its 2025 room revenue growth forecast due to softness in US travel demand, but its shares rallied as the company boosted expectations for new hotel additions. And European shares fell on lacklustre earnings from the major firms, including French cosmetics giant L'Oreal, which reported weaker than expected third quarter sales, while Hermes also fell despite a forecast improvement for sales in China. Well, the Trump administration is reportedly considering to plan to restrict software-powered exports to China in retaliation against Beijing's latest round of rare earth export restrictions. That could potentially include goods ranging from laptops to jet engines. Chinese imports currently face US tariffs around 55%, which could rise to 155% if President Trump follows through on his threatened tariff hike. Meanwhile, UK inflation unexpectedly held steady in September, raising the prospect of a Bank of England interest rate cut this year. And consumer price inflation remaining at 3.8% for the third month running. US Treasury yields have slid for a third straight session amid subdued sentiment as the US government shutdown continues with no resolution in sight. The US 2-year Treasury yield falling to 3.44%, the 10-year yield down to 3.95%. The US dollar index has little change. The Aussie dollar is trading at around 64.9 US cents. Oil prices have extended their gains after US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said more US sanctions targeting Russia would be announced. Brent crude futures jumping 4% to $63 a barrel. Copper was up around 0.5%, iron ore 1% higher at $104 a tonne, and gold fell to a near 2-week low as investors booked profits ahead of US inflation data later this week. Spot gold has since recovered a little to be around $4,100 an ounce. And Bitcoin has fallen to 107,000 US dollars. Well, no local data today, but those companies set to report include Alcoa, Coronado, Fortescue, Insignia Financial, Northern Star Resources, and Regis Resources. And AGMs are scheduled for Auckland International Airport, ASX, Bapcor, BHP, Brambles, Perpetual, and Cochlear. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.